Hello everyone, we are in the fourth Trinity coffee break. Welcome to my colleagues from Trinity Projects. Today we are going to talk about women on electricity market. We are going to focus our conversation, our coffee break on your role on the electricity market, on the renewable energy market also. So I would like to just have a short view of maybe your role and your work on the Trinity project and your entity. So what are you doing right now as a woman on the electricity market?
Okay, I can start maybe. I'm Lucija from KONCAR, and here is my colleague Leila, also from the same company.
Hi.
And in Trinity, we are doing things connected to the wind power plant, which our third entity company owns, and we are now collecting data for it to use in Trinity platform.
I also can say a few words about myself. I'm Marta. I'm an electrical engineer, and I'm currently working on research and development, on research projects, mostly with the previous one related to storage technologies and smart meters, and now I shifted a little bit to education and things like this in the digitalization of the energy sector.
Okay, so I can continue, I guess. My name is Rita, and I am responsible for the project coordination of Trinity. And as HUPX, as the Hungarian Power Exchange, we are mainly involved in the product development of a new intraday auction. And yes, it's very, very interesting and exciting.
I'm working on research and development projects, also involved in some projects regarding smart grids, energy efficiency, and the link between them. And I have also some previously experience in the project management of research and development projects.
Okay, thank you very much for introducing yourself. We are quite young, I have to say, so it's a good point, I guess. I would like to know how you see the gender diversity and gender balance in the electricity sector, your experiences so far, even though you are still young.
Yes, maybe I can mention one thing, because as far as I know, gender equity is a general issue in electricity sector. But I guess I can bring you and I can show you a good example, because at the Hungarian Power Exchange, we have so many female colleagues as well. So we have, for example, female leaders, which is very nice. We have female head of sales, and we have a female head of market operations.
Okay. I think that I also can say something. I have to say that my perspective is a little bit unusual, because I really think that in the working force, there has to be some sectors that needs to have an imbalance gender distribution, because there are some sectors that are more prone to men and sectors more prone to women. So I think that the gender diversity issues arise only when we face injustice to how women or men are treated, or even if we talk about money or about I don't know, job positions and things like this. But from my experience, I worked only for years in the workforce. The only things that can stop the woman in achieving a successful career in electricity sector are the self-confidence and the tendency of the gender to, how to say, to look for jobs that are more less technical. I don't know how to say this.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can say from my experience, I have 11 years of experience because starting to work after I graduated. And I've been studying at the University of Zagreb at Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computing, and there were 30% of women studying there. But no one stopped more women to enroll in the university in this faculty. So it's their choice. It's choice of women that they don't choose engineering, electrical engineering.
Yes, I completely agree.
Yeah. And yeah, I started to work in KONCAR, and it's a big engineering company dominated by men. And most of the women working in KONCAR had positions on economic base and not engineers. So there were few women engineers. But now today I work in the research department, and I can say that there is 70% of women working in our research department. So it's a nice change, not to be
surrounded by men.
Surrounded, yeah, with
Yeah.
only men. I like to work with men also, but sometimes you miss your women colleagues because they think differently. They have maybe more empathy. They have more soft skills than men, and I can say that working at this field, in engineering field for all my career, I've seen that women engineers tends to be more socially responsible. I mean, all the engineers should be, but I found that men sometimes lack this skill, as they tend to do things more on business way, not looking for social responsibility. And I think that's a big role for women in engineer to go forward with this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lucia, really you get the point right. But I can say that there is a really increasing number of women starting to taking universities such as electrical engineering, because probably they face it that it's more it's better to choose qualification like this because it's much easier to enter in the working market. And from my experience, the only issue that was for me at the starting point when I graduated my university, it's to start working, because I had many interviews and there were like some questions more like, what will you do when you will have kids or something like this. But once when I entered the working force, it was much more different, and I started to work in an energy institute which was populated, I think, by 50% of women, and also the managing board and so on was populated by women. Also, I had a woman as my chief and so on. So I have really good experience, but like in every field of work, I like to have this kind of balance between men and women, because I think that I can work better like this, and I don't know, but it's just my point of view.
Okay. So I think, well, it's my opinion, but the main problem that we are dealing with is that in the school, in the college, in the high school, I think the problem is that, or maybe in the past years, we didn't boost the girls to be passionate by science. Maybe our role was more linked with another careers, maybe. So, but I think now that there are more and more girls interested in science, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, from my point of view, it's the same in Croatia. It's on a rise. It's a slow and small rise, but it's on rise. And these days, society make it so women doesn't have to feel ashamed as being engineers, because It was even when I studied, it was 10 years ago, 11 years ago. We were like, huh, you're a woman studying men things, electrical engineering. And when I went out and after I finished my studies and someone asked me, what are you doing, some men, like flirting? And I said, yeah, I'm electrical designer for hydropower plants. And he was like, he was intimidated.
Yeah.
So I stopped saying that. And as I have another profession, I used to say, yeah, I'm a violinist. And that was more pleasant for them as this picture of women just doing some sort of jobs. And I think that today that's changed a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of obstacles and barriers do you find right now for women now?
Yes, maybe the problem starts at school, I believe, because as you mentioned, not many girls are motivated in learning like more like mathematical subjects in Hungary at least.
I don't know.
So,
I think that maybe we are our worst enemies. We should really try to be more assertive and maybe try to hire positions or something like this, because we are like more we have this empathy and social skills, so we do not tend to be very aggressive in trying to reach some positions or whatever. So I think that, yeah, we should be just more brave in trying some new things and assessing some good positions. That's all.
yeah,
Leila, you are right. I also believe this, that our enemy, as you said, is our level of agreeableness, because we have a hard time in saying no and a hard time in demanding what we deserve. Also in our personal life, but also in the professional life.
So yeah, competition sometimes between us, it's a problem also.
in Hungary, anyway, we have some mentorship programs for especially women in energy sector. I don't know if you have the same as well, but these kind of programs are trying to embrace the female workforce to participate in the industry. So I think it's a great idea.
What kind of solutions you see or you thought to improve our role on your role on the electricity market?
I think that we can start simple in supporting other women. And I don't know, in working for self-improvement.
Okay.
Because we have to learn to say, yes, we do this, yes, we don't do this, yes, we deserve more, yes, this is the mentality, I think.
And start maybe with education, like in school, and maybe talk more to kids like, oh, you can be a scientist. There are women doing this, and like go on really on the basics level. So people will grow up with another kind of mentality and wanting some like silly stuff when they become older.
Yeah.
I think we also need to stop this myth, because it's a myth that there are not so much women in engineering. So don't take this this field of study because you won't get a job. It's only men dominated, and it's just a myth.
Yeah.
Because I really found it that on most normal companies, not asking for, are you going to have kids or something, because that's also illegal, that they give equal opportunity to men and women. So, yeah. So we need to start encouraging girls from their young age that it's possible.
It's possible to become,
Yes, and I can admit I really had so much more positive experiences as an energy engineer than negatives. So, for example, I felt I was mainly supported by my colleagues at my former work places as well. So I didn't have so many problems. And yes, I think it's very important to mention. You won't be excluded just because you are a woman.
For sure, you have to show also that there are women that they are doing really well and they have a career right now, so it's not difficult to get there. But yes, the image that we have also it's that this is a job for men, and just few women can get access to this kind of jobs. Trinity as an Horizon 2020 project funded by the European Commission, we have to have a gender balance, which is not all the time in each every project. It's evident because this lack of maybe engineer women. But yes, here we have a gender balance normally in Trinity project. So how do you see this gender balance in the Trinity project? How do you feel your role within the project? And,
I think it's a good balance in Trinity as a whole consortium. And from my company's side, yeah, we have a lot of women working as I'm leading the project from KONCAR side, so I'm a woman.
yeah.
And also our third-party company, KONCAR Renewables. There is a Nastya, not with us today, but she's also a woman.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have Leila here on the team, but also some male engineers. But I think we have a good gender balance on this project.
What you mentioned before, because we have actually more girls involved in market development. So
yes, I have to say that we had the kickoff at the beginning of, well, last year. After that, we have the first consortium meeting. And I was impressed because there were a lot of women on the meetings. And this is why I decided to give you some room for you, and I hope we could start working on other dissemination actions, because as you say, maybe we are an example of how women are on this electricity market. So maybe you can became an ambassador. So thank you very much for your time. And yes, I hope you enjoyed this session. Also, the audience, hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you for watching us. We will keep you updated because we will share more content about Trinity project and also women on the energy sector. So yeah, stay tuned. Thank you very much, girls.
Also, have a nice
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.